Show Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, from New York City, Joe Garagiola.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you and welcome to Tell the Truth. Hey, we're glad you're here. We are glad you're here because I think you really, well, this spot is a very important spot. You're going to meet a woman who is an alcoholic. Happily, though, she's been sober for some 7 years, and she's been doing something about other women alcoholics. We're going to meet a very brave and a determined woman, but first, let's meet our panel here on To Tell the Truth, and here they come.
Peggy Cass. Bill Cummins. Kitty Carlisle. And Tom Seaver.
All righty. I think this is a very important spot, and I'll tell you what, let's not waste any time. As promised, let's meet an alcoholic.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Jean Kirkpatrick.
Number two.
My name is Jean Kirkpatrick.
And number three.
My name is Jean Kirkpatrick.
And your job, panel, is to identify the real Jean Kirkpatrick. And here is her commitment to the woman alcoholic. I, Jean Kirkpatrick, am an alcoholic. I'm also the founder of a program called Women for Sobriety, which deals with the specific problems of the woman alcoholic. Our philosophy is simple. Forget the past, plan for tomorrow, and live for today. The battle against alcoholism is even tougher for women than for men. Study has shown that 9 of 10 wives stick by their alcoholic husbands, but conversely, 9 out of 10 husbands abandon their alcoholic wives. Women for Sobriety deals with the woman alcoholic, and our work is cut out for us. In the United States alone, there are over 5 million female alcoholics. Signed, Jean Kirkpatrick. And we'll be back with Jean Kirkpatrick and her 2 imposters right after about 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Whoever's favorite stars on Game Show Network.
Panel across the way, we have 3 women, all claiming to be Jean Kirkpatrick, an alcoholic and founder of Women for Sobriety. It's an organization dedicated to helping the female alcoholic. And Peggy, we're going to start with you.
Thank you. Number 3, why do women stick with their alcoholic husbands, but husbands don't stick with their alcoholic wives?
Probably because women have more reason to stay at home because they have other responsibilities, the children and so on, whereas husbands are more footloose.
Thank you. Number 2, would husbands leave their children with an alcoholic wife? That wouldn't even seem to be safe.
Well, they would if this is necessary, if they can't make other arrangements. But this is often hidden. It's able for her to conceal this, perhaps more than the man who's out in the workaday world.
Thank you. Number 1, in what way is your organization different from Alcoholics Anonymous?
It has its own specific program.
Well, is it different? In what way is it different from alcohol? They have a specific program. In which way is your program different from AA?
The Women for Sobriety program was started by myself, and it was how I recovered. And it has 13 statement acceptances, whereas AA, as I recall, has 12.
You mean you say one more thing?
Let's move over to Bill Cullen.
Yeah, number 2, I am sorry to equate again with Alcoholics Anonymous, but that seems to be done when we get to the problem of alcoholism. They have something that is supposed to keep the members from drinking. What do you have in your group or in your program that keeps the member from drinking or makes the member stop if they begin?
It has to be a self-help thing, and I think that our emphasis on you find the help within yourself. Perhaps this is our major difference, rather than in AA where the person commits himself to God, that this power outside himself. We stress positive thinking within the organization.
Number three, you mentioned forget the present and plan for the future, or forget the past and plan for the future. Is that it?
Yes, and live today.
And the plans for the future, to better yourself, or plans ignoring the alcoholic trouble you might have had?
Well, we like to forget about the trouble we had, but to plan, to evaluate ourselves, to see what good features we have that we can grow upon.
Number one, is it wise to forget about what was the problem if you are out to conquer the problem? Is it not, oh, well, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is it wise to forget what your problem was?
Not totally, but our organization tries to overcome the large amounts of guilt that many women feel because of the past.
Thank you.
Let's move to Kitty.
Thank you. Number two, number one said that there are 13 statements as opposed to 12 for Alcoholics Anonymous. What is the extra one that you all have that they don't?
Oh, there are several. We do not use those 12 steps. There are others. The emphasis on love, the emphasis on we are capable, we are caring, that we have the responsibility to help others, to help our sisters. This is the 13th step, but this also is in AA.
Number one, do you have the buddy system like they do in AA? I mean, do you have somebody you can call up in the middle of the night when you're about to reach for the bottle?
Essentially, each group is autonomous, and within each group, usually women arrange with each other who will be the ones to be called.
Number three, in the AA, they have a pigeon system. In other words, you have someone for whom you are directly responsible. Do you have that in Women for Sobriety?
No, we don't.
So you depend really much more on kind of catch as catch can help.
It's not catch as catch can, because we do have a small unit that gets together, talks out the problems, and I might add that these are specific problems that deal with women alcoholics.
Yeah. Number two, do you pay dues?
Well, let's go to Tom Seaver. We'll never get the answer.
Number two, is alcoholism a psychological or physical dependence?
It's both.
Number three, in how many families are both the members, the husband and the wife, alcoholics?
I don't really have those statistics.
Number four is an alcoholic. Number one, how long were you an alcoholic?
Can't trust these pictures at all.
I got the wrong sign.
I beg your pardon?
Now, how long were you an alcoholic, number one?
I drank for 27 years.
What was the one thing that made you give it up?
I really hit bottom.
Number two, what's the song by Paul Simon? There's a lady in a certain song by Paul Simon, and that has to do with some sort of alcoholism. Do you know that lady's name?
No, I do not.
Number three?
Well, number three, even number four may get to vote, Tom. But that's what they have to do. They have to mark their ballots, no consultation, no change. And do you think it's number one? Or do you think it is number two? Or do you think it is number three? Okay, Peggy, you got us started. How did you vote?
Well, I know that in AA they refer to it not as sayings or something, they say steps. And the only one who said 12 steps was number two, so I voted for her.
All right. Bill Cullen.
12 steps to ball pate.
Was that it?
Keys,
Yeah.
keys.
12 keys to ball.
7 steps.
7 steps.
I never did like that. Anyhow.
39 steps.
And you put all that together,
Kept going,
and number two's reasons were short, like she had been asked the questions before. It's an old reason, but for that reason I voted for her.
Okay. Kitty.
Well, it's a terrible thing to say. I thought number two looked as though she might, but I voted for number three.
Three. Okay. Tom Seaver.
Well, I voted for number four because, and then the director told me that I can't vote for number four, so I voted for number one.
Okay, he voted for number one. That pretty well scatters out the votes. Everybody is in the ballgame. Let's ask the question. Will the real Gene Kirkpatrick please stand up?
Kirkpatrick. It's one.
Let's find out who the imposters are. Number two, what is your name and what do you do?
My real name is Isabel Hayes. I'm the wife of a retired Army chaplain, now living in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, and I teach in the junior high school in Phoenixville area junior high school, and I have to say they're #1 or they won't let me back.
Okay. Number 3, what is your name and what do you do?
My name is Betty Brenner. I'm a sculptress, and I live in New York.
This is the book that Jean Kirkpatrick has written. It is called Turnabout, New Help for a New Life. And obviously a very important book. And Jean, you are a doctor of philosophy. What is your degree and where did you receive it?
It's in sociology at the University of Pennsylvania.
And we've been talking about this organization. If people are interested, women and men,
Yes.
where do they get information?
Actually, just Quakertown, Pennsylvania, 18951 will get any kind of help to anyone.
Women for Sobriety?
Yes.
Is that what would be the address?
Or my name, Jean Kirkpatrick, or in fact, if you just say alcoholics or alcoholism, Quakertown, Pennsylvania, 18951.
Jean, it may have been brought up, but maybe I just missed it, but you said you hit bottom and you have to do it yourself. What is bottom? It has to vary for...
Yes, it varies for everybody. In my case, it really was bottom. I just was unable, I was physically, mentally, spiritually at the end. I could not drink one more thing.
Can a family do anything at all besides
Yes.
be patient and loving?
The family should confront the alcoholic. I think for too often in the past we have hidden the alcoholic and tried to make it as if they have flu or a case of sickness. But the family should confront the alcoholic, and this helps the alcoholic to come to grips with the problem.
Jean, you're a very brave lady. You're a very determined lady, and it's a very important story you're telling. We thank you for coming here and sharing your story. Good luck to you on your book, Turnabout, and thank you, our 2 imposters, for playing to tell the truth.
Thank you.
very
It's been
much.
my pleasure.
Very important story. Panel, I got a treat for you. I'm going to show you something, and this astoundingly realistic work of art, take a look at your monitor, was made by our next guest. Now, what's unique about it? The shoe is made entirely of chocolate. That's right,
I want a
chocolato.
lace.
That's what I said, chocolate, and I tell you, it's just a taste of his remarkable artistry. And you're going to see more of it. We'll meet him in 2 minutes.
I found a bed.
That's 1-800-228-1080.
And now, let's meet a very creative pastry chef.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Gunther Heiland.
Number 2.
My name is Gunther Heiland.
And number 3.
My name is Gunther Heiland.
Did you ever see 3 happier Gunther Highlands in your life, huh? They were all so happy. Here is this artistic announcement. I, Gunther Highland, am the executive pastry chef at a renowned international hotel. And recently, at the Culinary Olympics in Frankfurt, Germany, my chocolate and sugar creations captured 2 medals. Here is a photograph of my carefully constructed chocolate-covered wagon. It is 20 inches long, 9 inches wide, and is 13 inches tall. And now a shot of a pastillage of the famous Wright brothers airplane. Now, for maximum smoothness, many parts were sanded 3 to 4 times. And now, let's look at 3 pieces that I brought to the studio. Our first place winner at a Chicago competition, these chocolate shoes are so realistic you can almost see the threads in the leather. At Orlando, my spinning wheel was another first prize winner. It measures 20 inches high by 15 inches wide. And then, inspired by the television program Sesame Street, here's a creation I call Oscar in the Trash Can. It is interesting to note that my chocolate and sugar sculptures contain nothing but pure food. They are 100% edible. Signed, Gunther Highland. let's start it off with Tom Seaver.
Number 2, Oscar. Oscar looked a little green to me. What's the color that you? How do you get the green color in it?
Well, it's some color additive we do, but it's completely edible.
Just food coloring, you mean?
Yes.
Number 1, what's the famous hotel that you work in?
That's Omni International.
Pardon?
Omni International Hotel.
Where's that located?
In Atlanta.
Some Atlanta Brave fans out
That's
there.
right, and that's about the way it sounds in that ballpark.
Number 3, how long would it take you to make Oscar the Grouch, or what's his name?
Oscar the Grouch.
For an amount of evenings, maybe 20, 25 evenings.
Would you serve this in the hotel? Do you serve this in your Omni Hotel?
No, it's strictly for display and competition.
Number 2, what do you do with these creations after they've been made?
Well, I love them, and
No, what do you do with them? Do you throw them in the dishwasher, or do you put them in the garbage disposal?
have you ever tried it? No.
Number 1, do you eat your creations after they're all done, or give them away, or
No.
you save them?
Yeah, I have it at home.
Could you bronze your
You
shoes?
can't ask that question. The buzzer just went off. We go to Peggy Cass.
Thank you. Number 1, how do you preserve those shoes? After all, if you put them in the refrigerator, the chocolate would turn gray.
No, I don't keep it in the refrigerator.
Where do you keep it so it doesn't go
Well, in the basement.
in the basement?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. What about the mice? No trouble with the mice?
We don't have any.
Oh, how nice. Number 3, what was the inspiration for those shoes? Because they look like some paintings I've seen.
Bill Cullen.
Well, I had a pair. I'm a hiker from way back, and I had a pair of old shoes, and I thought that would be a nice motive. I mean, you make silver things out of them. Why not make chocolate things out of them?
All right, but number 2, did you ever see a painting that looked like those shoes?
No.
Number 1, did you?
Never have to answer that one. Bill Cullen.
I've seen
I
it.
still think you were the inspiration for those shoes.
I think I was, just so as comfortable as an old shoe. Number 2, obviously, because this is you do not mold these things, do you?
In a way, we do, yeah.
Now, how do you go about working? Do you work the chocolate once you get a shoe form? Do you use a shoe form to pour it in first?
Well, I construct something, and then I draw a drawing,
Right.
cut it out, and start from there.
Now, number 3, when you work with the chocolate, is it melted to some degree to make it workable?
You heat it up first, and then it's stiffened to some degree, and then you work it out, you flatten it out with a rolling pin, and then you cut it out after forms you have already pre-cut.
Number 1, there's a chocolate place here in New York that every year they feature a special for the holidays, and this year it's a solid chocolate telephone. Do you know who does that?
No, I don't know.
Do you, number 2?
Let's go to Kitty Carlisle. You don't have to answer when the buzzer goes off. Unless
Number
Kitty
1,
wants to ask.
do you have an armature like in sculpture underneath some of these things like the airplane first?
No.
You don't use an armature?
No.
Well, what do you have? Number 2, what do you have in there that keeps those little things up, the little struts and so forth? Number 2?
It's made out of sugar.
I see. Nothing underneath.
No,
Now,
not
3,
the thin ones.
It says that you sanded that airplane 2 or 3 times. Why do you have to sand sugar? Number 3.
To get the smoothness and the exact shape of the plane and of the things I'm making.
Number 1, what is pastillage?
That's the stuff, sugar and gelatin.
Oh, gelatin.
And 3 beauties sitting over there, aren't they, huh? Okay. Our panel, they have to figure out the real one. They're going to vote, no consultation, no change. Do you think it's number 1? Or do you think it is number 2? Or do you think it is number 3? Okay. Tom Seaver, you got to start. How did you vote?
Well, I'm going to pull one out of the oven. I'll vote for number 3. I just liked his answers. I thought 2's answers were a little nebulous.
Okay. Peggy.
Well, I really was reaching for Van Gogh painted shoes that look very much like that, and I just thought maybe that's where you got the idea. But I voted for number 3 because he looks so happy. I'd be happy if I'd have done chocolate and made shoes like that.
Bill Cullen.
Shoes like that are fine if your feet do not perspire. Anyway, I'm sorry. I like the ease and the comparative civility with which number 1 announced that he has a cool, mouse-free basement in which he works. I voted for him.
Kitty,
I voted for him for exactly the same reason. I want to go down in his basement and eat up all his chocolate.
Okay. All right, the votes are all in. Willaria, Gunter Highland, please stand up. Okay, number 2, what is your name? What do you do?
Edie, and I'm working for a steamship company named Columbus Line to Australia.
All right. Number 3, what is your name and what do you do?
My name is Kel Alstrup. I'm a salary administration manager for Volvo of America.
Gunter, we did establish you worked at the Omni in Atlanta.
Right.
Because we heard that tremendous person applaud up there when you said that. Let me ask you, what is going to be your ultimate? What do you think? What's running through your mind now that you would like to create?
Well, I don't know at the moment. It's the most difficult part, I would say. I never know what to do.
Me.
Do a Peggy Cass and chocolate. I think that would be great. That would be great. Yeah, you finished 3rd with the one. What won it? What kind of a creation won it? Didn't you finish 3rd with one of the
Yeah, that was the Oscar in the trash can.
Oscar in the trash can. What was the winner?
The shoe.
No, I mean in that contest where you finished 3rd.
You get certain amount of points.
Oh.
And if you reach 40, that means the first prize. If you reach 38, it's the second. Yeah. And so on.
So you ended in the trash can with Oscar, huh?
Right.
Yeah, okay. Good luck to you. Thank you for bringing by your creations. Thank you, Artur and Bob, for playing our game.
Jim, it says here that personal debt and credit...
Well, we have about 15 seconds to say goodbye, and Peggy's been looking at those shoes over there made of chocolate and the spinning wheel, and Dinty's ready to come out here, and we're going to take a close look at them. We hope you enjoyed the show, and join us again. We'll have some more fun, okay? Bye-bye.
In addition to the cash awards, our first team of judges will receive fashion jewelry from Sarah Coventry, a jewelry for every occasion. See the jewelry with fashion know-how at the Sarah Coventry Home Fashion Show. Our second team will receive Turtle Wax, the world's largest selling liquid car wax. Cleans, polishes, protects in one easy operation. Turtle Wax with a hard shell finish. This is Alan Coulter speaking for To Tell the Truth, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
Stick around. There's more To Tell the Truth heading your way. This time with Gary Moore. To Tell the Truth. Up next on Game Show Network. You're watching